One of my favorite indie games recently received a physical release, and it's pretty dang great with one minor exception. I can't tell you how excited I am to get this one. Out of all of the collector's editions, there are a couple that I am extremely excited for, and this is one of them. Bloodstained Curse of the Moon. Before we get into that, let's take a look at this card with 423 cards now. That is freaking insane. You see the nice artwork of Zangetsu, Miriam, and also the castle in the background. It's really nice artwork that you'll see also on the cover and some other art that you'll see a little bit later. One of the interesting things is that the cover, this whole cover that you see here, is reminiscent of the NES. It's inspired by it. It comes in a sleeve. You can take a look at the side here. Bloodstained Curse of the Moon, nicely done with a little bit red for the switch. The bottom is pretty standard, and at the top you have the logos here with Bloodstained Curse of the Moon. Let's take a look at the back. Back is pretty standard that you see in a lot of other games with the description and also the screenshots, except this one being catered towards the NES games. It's inspired by the Castlevania series NT creates. But one of the most interesting things about this whole packaging is that it comes in a sleeve. So once you take this out, you get another one beneath it. Nothing too crazy. Let's just try and take this off here. One of the most interesting things to see when I'm opening these packages is how badly I might mess up. You can see here pretty much the same thing with a couple of exceptions with the Switch logo and all of that. Looking on the back, they're pretty much the exact same thing, just missing a couple of details that's presented on the actual sleeve. Once you open this up though, this is something that comes with the game. It comes with the soundtrack. It comes with a 18 by 24 inch poster, which was much bigger than I originally thought, as we have the soundtrack right here with a total of 41 tracks. That is a lot of music. I can't really say too much about the music, as I don't know, I haven't listened to anything that really stood out to me, but also at the same time, I didn't really give a chance to listen to the soundtrack of the game. So I'm gonna have to go back and look at that. We can see some awesome artwork of the characters, the various characters that you have in the game. Always love how this is the gothic type of theme, kind of a gritty look to it. It's really nice. Next up is the poster. The poster, once again, being 18 by 24 inches, much bigger. Seeing this in poster than what I originally thought. You see Bloodstained Curse of the Moon on the sides here. There's some really beautiful artwork, very talented developers that I'm getting all of these freaking collector's editions. Is never like ceases to amaze me how nice this artwork looks. Here's a better look at it from the top angle, since it's so hard to show this on camera, so definitely showing it at a better angle. And here's the alternate side that you can also hang the poster up on. This particular game comes in a sleeve. This is very interesting since none of the other ones that I got came in a limited run sleeve. I kind of wish they all came in this type of sleeve, so it would be something that you could put on your shelf. It's not anything too sturdy, especially when trying to set it up, but it's just a cool thing nevertheless. A better look at the game inside the plastic still. The back doesn't have anything particularly interesting besides the artwork here, which was repeated a couple of times you've seen before. So nothing too crazy there. Still nice to look at it. You can see some of the details being single player and various ways that you can play it on the Switch. One of the interesting things of collecting all of these games, especially now since I've gotten into it a lot more, is my library for the Switch has grown. originally, not expecting to play mostly indie games on it instead of other titles. It's pretty interesting as we open this up and see some of the artwork. This has a reversible cover that you can see also with the manual and the Switch game. Let's take the manual out here. But yeah, the reversible cover has the characters once again. Nicely displayed characters. Here's the art book. The art book is pretty much the same as you've seen with the soundtrack, and also it's nothing too crazy. It's just nice to have something like this. The one disappointing thing is it has some really nice looking details inside. Unfortunately, this is the second shortest art book I've got in these collector's editions. I really wish it showed some of the enemy types, because there's a lot of interesting enemies and bosses in the game that could have had a description as well. This one is pretty much just the characters, which is cool in itself, but it just would have been nice to see some additional things with the game. There's like so many crazy things inside the game, so many cool designs. It's just something I would have liked to see more. Even stuff with the controls, give us some basic controls is always something nice to scroll through, even if it's something that is pretty simple like that. It's funny how all of that kind of adds up. Here's the Switch cartridge. Pretty standard. Artwork is pretty much the same, so you can see that it repeats a few times throughout, but otherwise it's pretty solid. I also made sure to take it out, reverse it, so you can get a better look. You can see the characters on the back, all 4 characters here. Let's actually make it a little bit longer so you can see everything. It's a really nice and simplistic case, and it's one that I think I prefer on this side. For a price point of $55 that I spent buying this bundle, I am so grateful and so glad that I have this one. One of my favorite games. I'm looking forward to the sequel coming out this month. Bloodstained Curse of the Moon came with some awesome stuff. Despite having the manual be somewhat of a letdown, everything else is really awesome, especially the NES type of packaging it came in, and also the sleeve. This is definitely one of the best limited run bundles I've gotten so far.